So I think that this is entirely based on familiarity. So for me personally, I knew that I was comfortable with history-based passages and psychology-based passages, so I focused on that. And then I moved to passages like that were based on science maybe. And then towards the end, I had the miscellaneous category passages that were extremely difficult to handle, and I kept them for the end. So, in order to figure out the perfect balance between the reading comprehension section and the verbal ability section, what I did was I tried different strategies during my mocks. Initially, I used to maybe do 2 RCs and then move to the VA section and then come back to the reading comprehension part again. I realized that the best strategy that gave me the optimal marks that I wanted was doing 3 reading comprehensions first and then moving to the VA section and then coming back and doing the difficult RC that was left towards the end. So when I was faced with such a situation, if the question was too difficult and I was extremely confused, I would automatically leave it. However, if there was a chance of maybe figuring out what the right answer will be, I moved to the passage, read it again, reread the part where the question was from, and then came back to the question again. And my gut usually was right, and then I just went ahead with the option that I thought was correct. So on the day of the examination, what I did was whenever I was faced with a difficult word, I reread the passage again and I figured out the context of that word. So even if I skipped that difficult word and read the passage, it sort of made sense to me and I could figure out the answer of that specific question. However, during my preparation stage, what I did is whenever I encountered a difficult word, I would go back and look up the meaning of that specific word, and if possible, I would try and use it in my day-to-day conversations with people, and that worked for me. So the verbal ability in the reading comprehension section is the first part of your CAT examination. In order to do well here, I think it's extremely important for all CAT aspirants to remain calm and to just give it your best. If you focus on your strengths and do the reading comprehension section first or the VA section first, depending on your strength, I think you'll do fairly well. And do not rely entirely on this section, because remember there are 2 other sections and you can always compensate and get your marks there. So don't put in 100% of your efforts on just this one section, because in case you do that and put too much pressure on it, you will not end up performing that well. In order to handle the VARC section, what I did was I focused on my strengths. For me personally, the reading comprehension part was fairly easier than the VA part, so I started with that. I completed all the easy passages so that I felt a little confident about that. And once I was done with that, I moved to the VA section, finished that, and then came back to the last difficult passage of that specific section.